Hi, I'm Beth Rubenstein, and I'm the co-founder and I was the longtime executive director of Youth Art Exchange. We founded it in 2000, and I was the executive director until 2013. My background is an architect. I was also a high school art and architecture teacher and a college architecture professor. I co-founded Youth Art Exchange, which used to be called Out of Sight, with my good friend and artist and educator Jennifer Stewart. And we had two ideas that sort of propelled us in starting it. One was that we believed that teenagers had a lot to say, and that the world needed to hear it. The other thing we believed is that art is a vehicle for community change. And the way art had been taught, even architecture had been taught, was that it was sort of a separate discipline. And the two of us came into the work thinking that art was actually connected to the humanities, it was connected to science, it was connected to politics, history, social change. So when we founded Out of Sight, now Youth Art Exchange, we believed that that youth voices could really lift up community ideas, community needs. It could inspire the community. 20 years ago, it would have been impossible to imagine that Youth Art Exchange would still be alive and thriving and in the hands of new people and sort of have so many fresh ideas. Jen and I did find in the initial years Out of Sight that there were a number of our values that were really important and did seem to resonate with a lot of people. So from that point of view, I'm not surprised that it still exists and it's still important to a lot of people. A few of those things that were really important to us early on is that we always wanted to involve the families of our youth. So even in our first session that started at Soma Arts down in Soma, we had a party. Parties were always important. Sharing food was always important, and families came and saw what their kids could do, and listened to youth voices. So that was always really important. I think the other thing that was always really important that I think continues to resonate is that art's connected to what's going on in the community, and that there was always a publicness to the art that we did. When I look at Youth Art Exchange now and see how there's a storefront, X space in the Excelsior, and then there's work in the Mission, and then many schools around the city, in a certain way I'm not surprised, because I know how those ideas resonated with so many people. It resonated with a lot of youth. We always had a really strong youth advisory board. That was also very important in the very beginning, is that we wanted to create an organization where youth voices helped drive what we did. I think one of the things that really separate Youth Art Exchange from other youth arts organizations is its multidisciplinary nature, and that's always been key to its mission and values, that we never saw ourselves in sort of one silo in terms of one form of art. And I think that multidisciplinary nature, first of all, brings in a diversity of youth. So we get people that are interested in photography, but also in poetry, or also in fashion, or also often in dance or whatever. So you get this diversity of youth with a diversity of voices, and then they get to collaborate. I think Youth Art Exchange has also been a leader in bringing youth together from across the city for the Youth Art Summits that have been going on for about 10 years now. And so they've been a leader in actually bringing a diversity of youth together to perform and share and learn from each other. As you know, Youth Art Exchange has existed for 20 years and has been committed to free programming for low-income youth in our city. If you care about the future, then you care about our youth, because they're going to be the ones that are going to be leading us into the next generation, into the next decade. And we need to support them with the highest quality education that we can. And the only way to do that is for us to support our schools and to support nonprofit organizations like Youth Art Exchange. I personally am a donor, and that's really important to me. Donating to Youth Art Exchange is an awesome investment. If you care about the future, then you need to care about our youth, and you need to donate to Youth Art Exchange, just like I am. Thank you.